All right, we are joined by Denny Hamlin, driver of the number 11 FedEx Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. Denny comes into the Pocono weekend in 2 weeks as tied with Jeff Gordon for the most Sprint Cup Series victories at the Tricky Triangle. Denny, talk your way through just what it means to be coming back to Pocono Raceway for the doubleheader and a chance potentially to have the most wins at a racetrack, passing Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, I mean it's been a track that I've had a lot of success at, and as oddly shaped as it is, for whatever reason, it's fit my driving style over the course of my career, and we've won in so many different cars and configurations of that track. It's fun to drive. I like the things that it takes to be good there. I really can appreciate them. It's making sure you get good runs off the corner because the straightaways are so long. That's really important. So. Pocono's been just one of those fun tracks for me, and strategy really plays a big factor in how your race goes at that track. So it's really a team effort when you win there, because you've got to have the right pit strategy, because track position is so very important.
The first question we're going to have is from Dan Gelson from the Associated Press, and it's a little bit more towards current events with Kyle Larson. Obviously, can anyone beat Kyle this year? Have you seen anything that's really changed since he's been away for a year? And kind of what's made that team so successful this year?
Well, I think that right now his teammates have got the same cars as him, so they have the potential to get after him. But that team, they've just got everything figured out right now. They're just making more horsepower, more downforce, and less drag than everyone else. So it's just they've got everything that you need to be fast, and we're all playing catch up at the moment. We certainly, for the first 10 races, I thought we were one of the best cars each and every week. We're still kind of one of the best of the rest, but we're going to have to get a little bit better as the summer months go on if we want to compete with them in the long term.
Turning things back to Pocono Raceway, obviously we have a 325 miler on Saturday, a 350 miler on Sunday. You won the Sunday race last year, obviously finished second in the race before. With the success you had in last year's doubleheader, what have you learned that you can able to bring and potentially have that same success this season?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say because there's some tracks where a lot has changed since last year. Some of the rules that they have with the bodies of the car, they've changed in the off season. So I don't think that we can necessarily correlate that just because we had success last year, it's going to equal success this year. Now, over the long term, I would say, well, whatever I'm doing at that racetrack is working because it's working with multiple cars, multiple different aerodynamic packages. So I think that we always will have an advantage when we go there, simply because of how my driving style fits that track. So I'm optimistic about it. I think that we're going to continue to get better as a team. I know Toyota is working with us strong to try to play catch up and get where we need to be. And I think that I'm with a team in Joe Gibbs Racing that's one of the best out there, and they know how to get the most out of their cars at the right time. And really, the summer months is really where we should be hitting our stride.
We're coming back to Pocono Raceway. You've been at a couple tracks where they have had fans. Obviously, last year you won with no fans in the stands. What would it mean for you to get back to victory lane here and also just be racing in front of fans and potentially what could be a sold-out infield crowd at Pocono Raceway this summer?
Yeah, it'd be exciting. Pocono Raceway's got some very passionate fans, and I've been, like I said, coming there for 16 years, and I've gotten to see some packed crowds there. And so last year winning, although it was great, it still was different because you're not in front of the fans that you feel that excitement in front of. So going back there and having fans is going to be fantastic. And the infield there is always packed and with great campers that are out there barbecuing. They got a great kids area in the infield that you see all the kids playing at. So it's got a lot of great family amenities, and that's what makes it a great track.
We also noticed recently that you had a little fox. It seemed like our mascot Tricky was visiting you recently. What are some of the things that you come enjoy with your family when you come to the Pocono Mountains?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different fun stuff. There's a water park that is right down the road that you can take the family to. There's some decent golfing up there if I'm up there with some friends. So there's plenty of stuff to do up in that area, and really, like I talked about at the racetrack, there's great stuff for the kids to do there as well. So pretty much got everything.
Shifting gears, you've had a lot this year more on your plate than in years past, being a co-owner as well as a driver. Talk about kind of what you've been doing and how you've been working through that, the challenges, the advantages of basically being able to kind of pull from another team.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it was crucial for us to get off and get running quickly. And so for us, for a first year team to be running, in the mid-teens or so, is a pretty decent accomplishment. I think that we had to have that relationship with Joe Gibbs Racing to get going quicker. It really takes a lot of infrastructure to be doing everything yourselves, building the cars, developing the cars, all that, the whole engineering department, fab shop. You really, that takes years and years to build. So for us to have an alliance with Joe Gibbs Racing, essentially a service fee that we pay them to provide us, the best cars that they can get, then that's what worked for us for getting off the ground. And as we grow and continue to get bigger, we'll continue to make that relationship stronger and hopefully find ourselves being more competitive week in, week out.
And what has it been like, the work-life balance, especially working with such big names as Bubba Wallace and Michael Jordan this year? Talk a little bit about your relationship and if you guys are actually accomplishing some of the goals you set forth at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're on that steady progression that I talked about at the beginning of the season, which was, I just wanted to be running better in the summer than I was in the spring, but run better in the fall than we were in the summer. Continue to get better. And when I look at the performance and say the average running position during the course of a race of the 23 car, it's been, the first probably 6 to 8 races, it was between 16th and 22nd. And I think here lately, it's more like 11th to 15th. So we're moving up and we're definitely heading in the right direction. It just takes time. And, it's tough because I'm a competitor and Michael's such a competitor. Like, having the patience to understand that we're building something for the long term, that it takes a lot of patience. And that's something that I'm certainly not very good at.
With that patience, you've alluded to this in your career in terms of Pocono Raceway that the iRacing, the simulation helped you back in the day. What have you started to do in order to critique and perfect how you run here? I've talked to a lot of former champions of the sport, Darrell Waltrip, Jeff Gordon. They've all said you're the guy to beat currently at Pocono Raceway. What is it about your success, and what do you continue to do to improve yourself at the Tricky Triangle?
Well, it's different. It's an always changing racetrack. It's one that it poses a lot of challenges because each turn is very different. It has different banking, it's different radiuses, so you can't get your car perfect around that track. So you have to understand the balance in which it takes to be good there. Realize where your passing zones are. That's typically into turn one. It's typically off of turn one. Yeah, one. So it's you have to have your cars good in those particular corners, and maybe you sacrifice a little bit through the tunnel turn. That's where it really matters that you have a car that can pass, that's maneuverable. Once they started putting the PJ1 down on the top side, you're able to run it up a little higher at that racetrack. And actually, one of my wins there last year, we won that way, was just being able to move up the racetrack. So that was a great addition to that racetrack, making it more raceable and continue to move in the direction where we think is the right field to get our cars to go fast. And that changes every single year with the different rules that happen.
Denny, I appreciate your time. Good luck at Nashville, and we'll see you in 2 weeks at Pocono.
All right, thank you.